with Climb, everybody. I'm here with basketball coach, trainer, one of my role models, Coach Will King. And it's just great to have you on. Great to have you on.
It's got to be here.
For sure. So just we're going to do some little intro questions. Basketball big growing up for you?
Basketball was huge. Just growing up in LA during the Showtime era with the Lakers,
Mm-hmm.
Magic Johnson, Kareem, Worthy, just seeing that built that fire into becoming a basketball player. So
For sure.
basketball's been.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Orange County.
Okay.
I was born in Long Beach, but I lived in Anaheim pretty much my whole life. Bounced around different parts of Anaheim, Century, Belinda.
Got it.
So,
who were some of the main people that influenced you in life or in basketball?
Well, in life, a bunch of people, but mainly, my mother, single mom, struggling, working 2 jobs to support me and my sister. Growing up, that was like a big thing with me, instilling good values and being in the church. Seems like every day we were at church for something, choir practice, usher board, something. And then people at the church, like I said, my mom was a single mother, so a lot of the deacons and things like that at the church, try to guide me and give me some men values and things like that. Possibly the main person that got me started in basketball was my first coach, Steve Asencia, out in Yorba Linda. I played for him for 2 years. He just was a great guy. Always took care of me. If I needed to ride a practice, he'd come get me. If I needed, just anything, someone to talk to about anything, he was there. He had his own kids, but he treated me just the same, and his kids were great as well. So those two right there. But there's a bunch of other people. I could go on.
Got it. So given that you're a coach now, were you serious about playing basketball in your younger days or?
Nah, it was just one of those things you just played, and not until you got to high school really was when you started thinking about playing in college or in the NBA, overseas, whatever. It's different how it is now. Like right now, you're in 3rd grade and they're already grooming you to get a basketball scholarship.
For real.
It's insane. So at that time growing up, basketball was just an outlet just to be out with your friends and stay out of trouble.
Yeah. Did you have any other passions outside of playing basketball?
I played soccer for a little bit. I kind of like that. I didn't get to play football until I got to high school, but I only played 1 year. I was really good at that. But there were a lot of things that happened when I transferred schools with the head coach that was at the new school. So I just decided just to play basketball. So those are pretty much the 2 sports, things that I liked that I wanted to do outside of basketball. Other than that, I didn't really have any other hobbies.
All right. What's one of your earliest basketball successes that you personally noticed?
Like I said, when I started playing with my first coach, Steve Asencia, it's funny. He always got the Lakers as our team for both years that I played. So my first year was in 6th grade of playing organized basketball. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I was pretty gifted. I was a little bit taller than a lot of people. So I was like a post player, and that kind of got me going into wanting to pursue basketball even more. And then I sat out. I think it was probably when I sat out my 7th grade year. I was born with an umbilical hernia. So if I wanted to play football in high school, I had to get an operation. So 7th grade was like the time to do it. So not playing basketball for that season was a big eye opener for me, and that pretty much solidified this is what I want to do. I want to play basketball. Probably going. So
interesting. Who are your like player influences growing up? Like, give me three of your I want to play like him, like type of players.
Oh man, off top, Gary Payton. I
Mm,
love GP. Just the trash talking. I was a big trash talker growing up. I just love getting in guys' heads, and I just love playing defense. So him with those two things was just spot on. His attitude, he wasn't scared of nobody. You see
mm,
it, see pictures of him staring at Jordan, staring him down like face to face. Like I don't
yeah.
care if you're the top guy, that's fine, but you're gonna know it's gonna be a fight that I'm here. So
Hmm.
I like that about him. Of course, Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Uh, Magic was the man at that time. You know, out here in LA, he could do no wrong. Um, broke our hearts in '91 when he had announced he had HIV, but he was big deal to me. Um, those are really like the two top. I don't really have a third
Yeah.
one. I guess I do like Larry Bird, even though I can't stand the Celtics.
Yeah.
Larry Bird, he was another one who didn't take any crap from anybody,
Mm,
and made sure that you knew he was a player and he never backed down and he could play. One of the most
yeah.
athletic dudes, but got it done every night. So,
Hmm. Were you like would you call like your success or your playing time in high school as like a success, or did you feel like you could have done more, or like how does that like measure out?
I think everyone, once you get older, especially my age, you start looking back. Even if you had a successful career, there's always things that you could have done better, whether it be made more shots, practice harder, better leader, things like that. I think I could have put more effort into it. I mean, I was pretty successful, um,
Hmm.
individual wise, but I think I would want to do better as a team. That was like my biggest thing looking back. And when I was in high school, um, getting guys to work out with me, because I worked out all the time, but a lot of my guys that were in high school with me, my teammates and my friends, they didn't put in the same effort as I did. So that I would try to go back and try to do that and be a better leader.
Yeah. Did you like in high school? Were your hoop dreams? We'll call it like big. Like, did you want to make to the league and everything?
No, not really. I mean, like I said, I was really naive about a lot of things. I just love playing basketball, and I
Hmm.
just went with the flow. So I didn't have a lot of guidance. I had three different high school basketball coaches my 3 years on varsity at the school I was at. So there was no one there to like say, "Hey, this is what you need to do," until my senior year, and I finally got a coach that got me on like an AAU team, a couple of them, and that's what helped me get to college. But
Hmm.
I I really didn't want to be in the NBA too much. That wasn't like the biggest dream of mine. Mine was just really just to go to school. That was it.
Yeah. All right. Was like because you grew up in probably one of the best eras of music, in my opinion. So it was
Okay.
like, did you like listen to music heavy like back then, or what was that like?
Yeah. Um, like in my time, it was gangster rap was like crazy.
Huge. Yeah.
Easy E, NWA, Ice Cube, Ice T. And then on the East Coast, you had Wu Tang and Pac, on this side,
Hmm.
on the other side. So those were big influential artists and growing up. They said they all were into sports, especially basketball. They all
Yeah.
love basketball. So, playing those tapes during warm ups and while you're working out, those really got you going. Um, and you just see the lifestyle that they lived, and you kind of wanted it, but you knew that that's not the lifestyle that was right.
And yeah.
But seeing all the cars, the money, the girls, things like that, you're like, oh, I want all that, but I'm gonna try to get that doing legal stuff.
Hmm. Yeah. Exactly. So so you said you like Biggie and or not Biggie, sorry, Tupac and NWA. Those are like your main who you rock with.
Back then, yeah.
Hmm.
I had an older sister, so even though I was pretty young and at that time, still in my like preteen times, I would hear her music from her and her friends and stuff, and wasn't really allowed to listen to it, but I'd sneak in and listen to it. So
got it. So when was the first time you've coached like a team?
First time I coached a team was my going into after I graduated. So the summer transitioning from high school to college, before I went to college, I helped coach the freshman summer league team at my
Okay.
high school. So I went to Savannah High School in Anaheim, and I helped coach their freshman team for like a couple weeks before I left. So that was like my first time actually, being on the sidelines, not knowing anything about coaching, nothing, just mimicking what I learned from the coach I just previously had. So it was kind of different. You got some respect from the kids because those guys who were coming in, they knew me from, my senior year and them coming to the games, those eighth graders coming to the games and watching me play. So they're like, oh, well, you were like one of the better players. So they didn't really give me any type of issues or attitude or anything like that. So then when I got back from college, I coached NJB for a little bit, did like some personal workouts and stuff. Yeah. But not until I really got to open gym. That's when I really started. Well, before that, let me take that back. Before we were part of open gym, when I was with Miguel Bennett, he was the OC Panthers. And so I started with him. He gave me a chance, started with him, and the rest is history. That was like 9 years ago.
Yeah. Got it.
9 or 10 years ago, because open gym's probably around like 8 or 9 years. So like, yeah, probably like 10 years ago when I started really getting to the coaching aspect of it.
Dang. What made you start coaching?
Like I said, Miguel, he needed some help one day. He saw me at 24. I was playing, and me and him, I played in like men's leagues and stuff together. So he was like, hey, I need some help. I need an assistant, whatever. So I was like, I'll try it out. Tried it out, and I just fell in love with it. Just being around, being able to mold the future and teaching kids how to play the right way, which is being very, very lost because everybody's just out for clout. Everybody's out for, hey, I want to, especially coaches, they just want to be known. Like, oh, I got this best player. I got this. Instead of trying to develop kids at an early age and making them fall in love with the game, I wanted that. And there's not a lot of coaches that do that out here, unfortunately, but that's what my main thing was. So,
man, that's great. So, did you like it at first, like coaching, like it made your first year?
Yeah. Like I said, it was all going so fast, just learning how to, make plays, set up defenses, substitutions, finding workouts, running practices. It was an eye opener on how much thought and process you had to put into making a successful basketball player and a team. But you fall in love with the process. You have your ups and downs. You got some good kids with good attitudes, and you got some bad attitudes. And me personally, growing up, I was a kid with a bad attitude. Not really towards my coaches, but just playing in general. I always wanted to win. I never wanted to get beat. So I always gravitate to kids like that for some odd reason, because I understand them. And a lot of people think, oh, they have bad attitude, they're this and that. No, they're just misunderstood. A lot of them don't know how to voice their anger or their frustration. So they just do stupid things on the court. But if you sit down and talk, listen to them, you'll get to know who they are. So those things were a challenge. And then parents. Parents are always, and will be till the end of time, a big challenge for coaches. You'll get some parents who just love everything you do. You'll get some parents that will just hate everything you do, no matter if your team is winning. You'll have parents that will just sit back and let you do your thing. You have parents who have, oh, well, you should do this. You should have done this. My kid should have got this time. And that's just a big thing to me. Like, okay, well, you can start your own team, and then you're
exactly.
all the playing time you want, and you
Mm-hmm.
can do and run whatever you want. So those are challenges, but other than that, everything was good.
Mm. So what would you say is your most like successful moment while coaching?
Um, I don't know.
Mm.
There's been a lot of good memories and successes that I've had, and not even just with like winning games or winning championships and things like that. Like those are great. I don't want to take nothing away from that. Like a lot of coaches are like, oh, it's not about winning or losing, but it is. At the end of the day, you want to win, especially if you're a competitor. But I
Mm-hmm.
think the biggest thing, and it's funny because I tweeted that on my Twitter um, the other day. I think it was yesterday. Like, there's nothing better to a coach, in my opinion, than when a kid or a player gets exactly what you want them to do. It's like you teach a
Mm.
kid move and he understands it perfectly and just can do it automatically, or you teach a kid your team a play and they can run it smoothly. Those little things like that are big successes to me.
Mm. So did you like experience any frustration with yourself? Like if the way you wanted a game to go didn't go that way, did you take that upon yourself? Or like I wouldn't say like you're just like honing on the kids and whatnot, but just did you take that blame?
Yeah, I tried to take as much blame as I could. At the end of the day, that's what people are going to look at. They're going to look at like the coach, like what did he do?
Yeah.
So there's times where you probably should have called a timeout, or a time you should have made a different substitution. Um, so things like that are things that I look back on, and I can replay the game from tip off to 0-0 in my head and see
Yeah.
exactly, well, I should have done this. And next time I play this team, I know I probably need to do this. Or next time in this situation, I can't have this certain player in, or I need to call a timeout or run a different set, some things like that. So yeah, I take things, especially if it's my fault. I take it extremely hard. I try not to show it too much, but sometimes it comes out.
Mhm.
But if I know it's my fault, I definitely will own up to it.
Yeah.
Um, but if it's not my fault, the kids will definitely know, like, hey, it's on you. So
For real. So what are some major differences you notice in coaching of today than of like early coaching and like you want some of your coaches when you were playing?
um, from like growing up, from
When you were playing, like those coaches compared to now, what are some major differences you notice?
like I pointed out earlier, just I think a lot of coaches are out for clout. They're clout chasers.
Yeah.
Uh, that see them on Instagram and all that. And I'm guilty of it. I don't think I'm clout chasing. I just like to promote my players and my teams and the program that I'm with. So I'll do that.
Yeah.
But I'm not out there, you see a coach with that really doesn't have a team. He'll have like a son maybe, and his son is really, really good, but he'll just pick and choose different teams for him to play with, or different players to come play with them each week. Like it's not really a team to me. Um, for me, coaching is about continuity, and everything's different. It's not like that anymore. That's
Yeah.
just the way it has evolved. I guess that's the difference. I guess that I've seen. Before you get 8 or 9 guys. That's your team, whether it be 3 months for a season or for a whole year, because now basketball is year round. Before that, it was just like NJB was like 10 games, maybe playoffs, or if you made like all net, then you travel around. But now you got kids playing on two different teams every single weekend,
Yeah.
playing 8 or 9 games like in a weekend. That's a big difference, and I don't think a lot of coaches care about players' wear and tear, especially when you're going through that growth stage from like fourth grade through 8th grade. Um, you gotta take care of your body. You'll break
Yeah.
down. So coaches, if I have anything to say to them, just do it for the kids. That's why we're in it. Just
Yeah.
continue. do it for the kids, you know. And if you're doing what you're supposed to do, the success will come to you.
Yeah.
You won't need to have to say anything. So.
Mm. So how do you feel that the coronavirus is going to impact basketball in its entirety? Do you think like basketball won't recover the same, or do you think just if there's a normal that's going to happen, do you think like that it'll just be the
I was waiting for this question.
same?
Oh man, I don't know. To be honest, you hear so many different reports. You hear, you know, the curve has flattened, so everything was great. Now they reopened, and now all of a sudden we get all these cases, and
Yeah.
you know, and that comes with more testing. So that I think that's a lot of it is why there's more cases. There's more testing. There's more free testing. Testing is faster. So of course the cases are going to be elevated. But then you got reports on, are these tests real, or are they just
Yeah.
categorizing? People are just saying, oh well, this person's sick. They got the symptoms, so they're COVID,
Mm-hmm.
instead of actually knowing that they really are. So pertaining to sports, you know, now you got all these NBA players that are coming out saying they have it, more and more each day. And it's not even like, you don't even hear about the lower level guys, like the, you know, the bench
G
players or
League and
whatever. They
everything.
probably
Yeah.
have it. Exactly. You just hear about all the superstars. So they try to keep it small, but I feel a lot of people have it and don't know it, or
Mm-hmm.
they're just keeping it under wraps. But what can you do?
Yeah.
You have to, like you said, the new normal is what it is we have now. We're gonna have to live with this for some way, and um, I hope and pray that there will be a season for all the kids, especially the kids that are going to be seniors this year, that are not signed and that need this extra year to get looks, whether it be,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for any sport, football, baseball, soccer, badminton, whatever. I just hope and pray that they get a chance to, you know, explore their dream of playing in college. So I to answer your question, really, I just don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to speculate on anything. And people are like, well, Coach King said this. Like, no, I don't quote me on that.
Exactly. Do you think the impact will be different from like AAU compared to the NBA in college, or do you think it'd just be the same?
I
Like, do
think
you think NBA? Oh, go ahead.
no, finish. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, do you think NBA won't have fans, and then like AAU will, or how will that like weigh in?
Yeah, they keep changing it. So like in the beginning, it was just like just parents could come in to the tournaments with the kids, and then I think someone changed it to like only one parent was able to come in, and then they made sure like you left immediately after your game for
Mm-hmm.
um for that day. So I don't know what they're gonna try to do, you know, for AU or for high school, because people want to see their kids play,
Yeah.
and I'm sure kids want their parents to be there to watch them play. So it's gonna be very, very interesting to see how they try to get through all that. But with the NBA not having fans, that's gonna be weird too, I guess, for the players. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of us can't afford tickets to games anyway. Maybe once a year, if that, or have the time to do it. So I mean, it's not that big a deal watching on TV.
Yeah.
Watching on TV and seeing nobody in the stands is going to be interesting.
For sure. And I was gonna take this time to talk about some NBA with you real quick. Who do you think has the most promise to win right now, or what do you think will be the finals matchup?
It's too early to tell because you don't know who's going to be there. Like I said,
Oh yeah, true.
all these players are dropping off. Like the Lakers, you know, Avery Bradley just said he's not playing. That's a huge blow for the Lakers
Yeah,
defensively. He can hit some shots. Um, so, you know, they signed J.R. Smith, but that's a totally different dynamic that you added to your team. And then, yeah, until we know, until I guess, until all the rosters are finalized and they get the teams in Orlando and things are straightened out, then I guess we could make a. But of course, you know me, I want my Lakers to win, of course,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
all day, every day. So, um, if they can stay healthy, I mean, they got a good chance. I hate to say it, the Clippers, but whatever. they got a decent squad, so they're going to be right there. The Bucks. I think they're one of the best out of the East that could possibly hang with those two teams.
For sure.
So we'll see.
Who you think out of this next round of draft prospects, who has the most promise, do you think?
Next question. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Because you would hope all their games would translate to the NBA, but sometimes it doesn't. Depending on what team you go to, what system that you're going to be in. There's a lot of guys who can't run sets. They need just like broken plays to score, to make plays, or some guys that can run sets, but they need more of a fast-paced set, not just a bunch of screens. So it's too hard to tell right now, especially now that there's no summer league.
Yeah.
Going on. I would have been able to make a better assessment if I was able to watch some summer league games and see about that. But at this time, I just don't know. Hopefully, all of them. I want to see everybody.
For sure.
So hopefully, all of them can make an impact, but we have to just wait and see.
For real. Who do you think in this? I just want to talk about the draft class with you. This because this is a big one. It could be a big draft class for this next year.
Yeah.
So who do you think could be the best if you could have to pick? If you were have to yeah.
If I had to pick.
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't know, because I'm trying to look at it as a fan aspect of who I like to see, but the coach in me is looking at okay, if I had a team, what do I need? Do I need a big? Do I need a guard? Do I need a slasher? Do I need a 3-point shooter? It's so who are the top 3 guys?
Shoot, LaMelo.
Okay.
James Wiseman.
Okay.
And Anthony Edwards probably.
Okay. From
Georgia. Or
Georgia.
RJ Hampton. I mean, he's good too.
Yeah. I think I guess you would say the best all-around player would be Edwards.
Yeah.
So he looks like he can score at all 3 levels. He was doing it in high school and in college. You hope Melo looked really good.
Yeah, for real.
He's just so immature, and
yeah,
the family dynamic is intolerable sometimes. So,
but again, going to come back eventually.
But Melo's a good kid. I've met him a couple times. I've talked to LeVar at some events. He's kind of misunderstood. He just wants his kids to win, which I love. Seeing three black kids that are millionaires before they even touched a high school basketball, a college basketball. That was pretty big. I'm always in support of that, and just always putting your kids in good situations is a big thing to me. So I applaud that. The way he goes about it sometimes is kind of crazy, but he has good intentions, I think. And then Wiseman, he could go number 1 too. Like I said, depending on what that first pick wants, maybe they want to trade. Somebody wants him and they want to trade. They just pick him and trade him. So you just never know. But those 3, RJ Hampton's a good one too. I forgot about him. I think that those 4 could possibly make some noise in the league, but I think Edwards would probably be the main one.
What's your view on Alonso? Just curious.
I like Alonso.
Do you like his game or?
I like him. I was kind of upset that the Lakers traded him, but I understood you can't not get Anthony Davis. It makes no sense. So I'm glad he's, flourishing, the pressure's off of him over in New Orleans. There's really nothing, they're not expecting big things right now until Zion really gets going. But I think he's in a good situation over there. But it's a crowded backcourt over there, so I don't know how long that's going to last. So hopefully he's not a journeyman and gets traded from team to team. Hopefully he can, do his thing and represent Southern California.
For sure. And why do you think LiAngelo turned out the way he did? Practice squad on the Thunder.
He made that one mistake over in
UCLA, yeah.
Yeah, was it where China?
Yeah, when he was with UCLA.
Yeah, that just killed him right there because he was already on the bubble of could he play in the league or how many years would he need at UCLA, and then you get no runs at UCLA because of that, so you didn't get to showcase anything. So unfortunately, every kid can't be, or every son can't be great. There's always got to be one that's not going to make it. But hopefully, he'll get a decent chance and get in there somehow.
For sure. All right, well, I think we're almost done here, so I was just going to ask you, what's next for you? Like, what are your plans for post-Corona or during Corona? What do you have planned?
So right now, just taking it easy. I get to work from home. I've been working from home since March. I'm actually a social worker, so for the county of Orange.
Oh, wow.
So that's my day job. So I'm working with families and hoping to get assistance, especially during this time, like homelessness and domestic abuse. So making sure that they're okay. So I every day. And then coaching wise, I'm coaching with LA Elite.
Yeah.
With Russell Payne and Kevin Payne. Those guys are great. They have welcomed me in with open arms. We've been trying to make this happen. I help coach their one of their JV teams, and it was pretty fun. So went back, and then all this stuff happened, and now everybody on wants to do with if they're going to let us play ball or not.
For sure. All right, that should be it. If you want to plug any of your socials, you can. But I think we're good.
Nah, it's all good. Everybody knows who I am. They can find me. It's all good. I'm not really big on followers or anything, but I guess you can follow me on Instagram. It's I changed my name actually to Mr. __ King 1980.
For sure.
So they can reach me on there, see my content. You'll just see pictures of, some of my workouts, my girlfriend. Shout out my girlfriend, Ashley. She's a good woman. Always get a good woman by your side, Jay.
For sure.
All right. I know your mom and pops always teach you that, but I'm gonna echo that, Get one that's, I know we're off topic, but get one that's gonna let you be you. They're gonna love you for your flaws as well as the good things about you. So if you can find a woman like that, and take your time, you're young.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about that right now.
Think about this in the next 8 to 10 years,
For sure.
Try to remember that. But I appreciate you. This was great. This is actually my first ever interview like this, so I'm blessed and I'm honored. This is something I will always remember. So I thank you so much, and I've known you for a very long time. Watching you grow up into this fine young man that you are. Your parents are always been great to me. I respect them 100%. Your grandparents as well. So much respect.
For sure. Appreciate that. All right. That's it, man. See you later.
All right. Thanks.
The Climb with Jaelin is hosted by Jaelin Morris-Orchen, produced by Mitch Bahnsen, and the music is done by Bowden Ford. For business inquiries, please contact us at theclimbwithj@gmail.com. That's theclimbwithjae@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.